This is a bizarre story. A Republican candidate in Montana's special election has been charged with a misdemeanor for allegedly body slamming a reporter last night. I'm talking about Greg Gianforte, who was at his campaign headquarters in Bozeman, Montana, last night, the night before the special election. And he allegedly body slammed Ben Jacobs, a political reporter for The Guardian. And as a result, two newspapers have rescinded their support for Gianforte. We will know, I guess, pretty soon whether this actually has an impact on the race and whether Gianforte could, I don't know, ride the anti-establishment waves of body slamming reporters into winning anyway. We have audio from this, and Ben Jacobs, who's the allegedly body slammed reporter from The Guardian, he was asking Gianforte about the Republican healthcare plan, saying, hey, the CBO just scored this thing. What do you think? Gianforte didn't like it, started yelling for Jacobs to get the hell out of here, and allegedly body slammed him. Let's take a listen to the audio.
And what
Yeah,
you
and
thought
we'll
about
talk
it.
to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be. I'm just curious if you have
Okay,
the
speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Sick and tired of you guys. The last time that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Jesus. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the Guardian.
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
You, the last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Get the hell out of here.
Right.
If you'd like me to get the hell out of here, I'd also like to call the police. Can I get you guys' names?
Hey, you gotta leave.
He just body slammed me.
You gotta leave.
Yeah. So the other journalists who were in the room, including Fox News employees, are saying that this happened the way Ben Jacobs said it happened, not the way that Gianforte's campaign said it happened, which, by the way, the statement from Gianforte's campaign is delusional. Let's put it up on the screen. This is a statement from the Gianforte campaign about what happened. Tonight, as Greg was giving a separate interview in a private office, The Guardian's Ben Jacobs entered the office without permission, aggressively shoved a recorder in Greg's face, and began asking badgering questions. All untrue, obviously. Jacobs was asked to leave. After asking Jacobs to lower the recorder, Jacobs declined. Greg then attempted to grab the phone that was pushed in his face. Jacobs grabbed Greg's wrist and spun away from Greg, pushing them both to the ground. It's unfortunate that this aggressive behavior from a liberal journalist created this scene at our campaign volunteer barbecue. Wow, that evil reporter, Pat, who just was I mean, it was almost assault what he did to Greg Gianforte from that campaign statement anyway.
You know, Jesse Ventura, who is a former professional wrestler, ran for governor of Minnesota in 1998, and he was able to go through a whole campaign without body slamming anyone. So if he can do it, I think this guy, who I guess is a software guy, owns a few businesses, I think he should be able to do it too.
Right. Body slamming is not exactly something that came naturally to him, although maybe it did. Maybe we don't know that much about his past. So which account is correct? The one that is implied by the actual audio recording or the statement from Gianforte's campaign? Well, no one else is saying that the way the campaign described it is the way it went. Everybody is backing the story, the account from the reporter. Late yesterday, Fox News correspondent Alicia Acuna reported that she and her crew witnessed the incident. They saw Gianforte grab Jacobs by the neck with both hands, slam him to the ground behind him. And Alicia Acuna added, to be clear, at no point did any of us who witnessed this assault see Jacobs show any form of physical aggression toward Gianforte. So Gianforte outright lied in his statement.
And the unfortunate thing is I think Gianforte can still end up winning because Montana only has one congressman in the entire state, and it's, of course, a red state.
Yeah.
And the media is nearly as unpopular as Congress is, so they may back him anyway.
Yeah, it's completely unpredictable, and of course, this happening just hours before voting began. And as far as the charges go, he's been charged with a misdemeanor. This stopped, from what I've read, just short of a felony, and is just a misdemeanor. And we will see what ultimately happens with this election today. Today's episode of The David Pakman Show is made possible in part by WNYC's On the Media. When our phones are sort of our own tailor-made media universes and our social media feeds are seeded with opinions and lies, how can we find common ground, especially when our politicians are getting more entrenched by the day? There is one way to maintain a level of frankness and transparency in your media, which is by listening to On the Media, WNYC's weekly investigation into how the media shapes our worldview while maintaining civility and fairness, which are the hallmarks of public radio. The team at On the Media tackles difficult issues and untangles our era's most intractable questions. Brooke Gladstone and Bob Garfield are your hosts on a sort of search for the truth in the 24-hour news cycle. Catch them on their weekly podcast, On the Media. It's on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.